Welcome back to That's So Nourishing. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about really dreaming big, going after what you want, allowing yourself to actually discover what it is that you want, and the other side of that, why we maybe don't allow ourselves to, why we settle and we don't let ourselves dream big or don't allow ourselves to feel like we have the time to go after our desires, and how sneaky this concept, I like to call it the cult of settling, can be. In the last two episodes, we really broke down want. We talked about wanting and all the baggage around wanting and our day-to-day wants and maybe why it feels so uncomfortable to actually say what we want. And in the next episode, we broke down why we want what we want and to really get to the nitty-gritty reasons of the pure heart-led wants that we want to create in this world. And I realized that we need a part 3. So if you haven't caught those episodes, no worries. They're great though, so I highly recommend going back and taking a listen. But if not, you'll be totally fine to start off here. When we think about what it is that we desire, what it is that we want to create in our lives, what it is that we dream for, what comes up for you? Do you instantly feel a clench in your body, like, I can't do that? Does it feel like, yes, I know exactly what I want and what I want to create? Does it feel like, oh, I don't know, I haven't had the time to even think about it. I'm so busy all day doing things for everything else, let alone doing something for myself? No way. Where do you fall on that when it comes to really thinking about what you want for this life, what you want to create in all areas of your life? Because as women who hold it all, who are constantly juggling a million things on their plates, who are serving others, leading in their careers and their businesses, doing things for their families all the time, constantly helping everyone else, it can be hard to find time for ourselves. And we don't even realize, but when we think about what it is that we want, what comes up for you? Maybe you think, oh, I don't have time for that. I'm just grateful for what I have. My family is healthy. Everything's going well in the day-to-day. What more could I want? Or do you think everything's fine, things are good, why do they need to be great? Or I don't even have time to even think about what I want. Or that it's bad for wanting more, or I don't need that, I'm good here. These things that we think on the day-to-day can be so sneaky, and we don't even realize that we're settling. Because things in our life seem fine, and maybe they're just like everyone else's life that we're around, so we don't think we need more. So we're like, well, it's good. It's fine. Yeah, sure, I dreamed of traveling the world, or I dreamed of my relationship with my husband being so passionate and having this raging fire intimacy. And I dreamed of having close relationships with my kids and having soul sisters, my friends. But, I'm just so busy anyways. I just don't really have the time for all of that. And between my business and just juggling everything for my family, those are just pipe dreams. Have you ever caught yourself doing that? We don't even realize that we're settling, that we're holding ourselves back. So in this episode, I really want to start to bring that awareness in your own life to your own desires, to your own wants, and to where maybe you've said, well, it's fine. And so you haven't wanted to put the effort in to really, one, recognize that it could be better, or to make it that way. If you're feeling called out here, I love you and I invite you to lean in. Because when we can start to be aware of these concepts, when we can start to understand where in our lives that we're settling, it can really allow us to start to create the lives that we really want, and to start to push the boundaries, lean towards the edges, access our fullest potential, to shoot for the stars, to create lives that we're just so lit up by. And that we're like, wait, all along I could have had it all. I just thought I had to settle for good, not great, for ordinary, not extraordinary, for believable, not unbelievable. But no, my friend, you do not have to. And especially when you've broken down why you want the things that you want and you get them from your true heart-led wants. Like I talked about in the last episode, what you get to create for your life is endless and is amazing. And that's what I want for you. I want you to just start thinking about different areas of your life and see where your life is currently and how you feel about it. So think about your friendships. Do you feel like your friendships are as rich and as nourishing and as wholesome as you desire? No judgment. Just think about where they're at. And your career, or your business. When you allow yourself to just think about everything that it could be, where is that currently? And just notice how you feel about it. And the stories that you've told yourself around these things. Your relationship, where is it at compared to where you want it? Just notice. And your family dynamic. Or your physical health, where's that at compared to where you want it? And what are the stories that you've told yourself about it? Oh, it's fine. I don't have time to work out. My business brings in consistent income. That's all I could ask for. Well, I have a job. Other people don't. Well, at least my husband's loyal. That's all that matters. And he provides for us. That's just in movies. People don't really have relationships like that. Women are just so catty. I couldn't have those friendships that I thought I'd have when I was younger. Just notice the stories that come up for you and just kind of do an audit of different areas of your life and just wherever they're at right now and just see how you feel about them. Notice if you're really stoked on them or if you're like, well, that's just how it is, isn't it? That's how it is with everyone else in my neighborhood. It's how it is with everyone else that I see around me. So that's just it, isn't it? Just notice. When we are kids, we have zero inhibitions. We just allow ourselves to dream, to go big, to get what we want, to just say whatever comes out of our mouth. Imagine you're going into a toy store as a kid and you're just running there and you're like, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Mom, get this for me. Or if you have a kid, picture that. We go in as kids and we just want everything. We're so unaware of how much things cost or what someone else would think or if we deserve this or if it's realistic or if it's enough or if we worked hard enough for it. We just want what we want and we're not ashamed to ask for it. But over time, this starts to shift. We get told to be realistic or to be grateful. Just be grateful for what you have or not to want too much and to not get our hopes up because we don't want to be disappointed. Oof. So over time, we stop allowing ourselves to fully dream big. We don't even realize it, but we stop wanting from the heart, which we talked about in the last episode, really from those heart-led desires. And we start to want from what we feel like we should want or what feels safe. And we slowly start to hold ourselves back and to settle for what is, because isn't that enough? Why should we want more? We start to feel guilty or shameful for wanting things to be different. And a lot of times, for some of us, the belief could stay really strong, like I can do anything, I can have anything, I can be anything, anything that I want. And for others, over time, as the world gets to us and as life happens, we start to wonder, but can I? Or even if I can, does it really make sense with the amount of time that I have, with everything I need to do with my kids? If other people live so much worse off than me, yeah, sure, maybe I could, but I got so much else on my plate, like I don't need that. Just notice where you fall in that as well. And a lot of us, we don't even realize this, but we start to just pull back towards the norm instead, towards the people around us, towards society, towards what we see other people having. And we start to believe that maybe really what we want is just not possible, or is not feasible, or is just foolish. And so we shrink. And we don't really ever go after our desires. We don't want to be difficult. So we don't want to tell someone if a relationship is fine, that we want to create change and make it different. And this gets really sneaky because most of us don't even realize that we stop wanting. We just tell ourselves that we're practical, we're mature, we're grateful. And we live by these terms as like they're this badge of honor almost, or it's noble to feel this way. And so we don't allow ourselves to go after what we really desire. And while sure, our lives might be great, we might have so much of what we want in our lives. We can have such good lives. And that doesn't mean that we cannot want more. It doesn't mean that we cannot want extraordinary lives, want to be lit up every single day by them. And I really want to unlock that for you here and to really see where have you been settling? Where have you been holding back? So notice what has kind of created a little irk in you so far and follow that. And up until this, you might not have even noticed that you were settling because we don't even know, especially when our entire life looks like that. Like in our culture, everyone else is the same. Or people are telling us, oh my God, but your life is so amazing. You already have all this. You don't need more. Or wow, I want your life. It looks so good. You have it all. But we don't actually feel like we do. And so people are telling us these things all the time and we're like, I should just feel grateful. I should just feel like I have enough, or I should just be happy. But I just want to clear that whole whatever that is up right now is no. Yes, you can be happy and you can be grateful where you are, and 100%. That is so amazing to feel, and I want that for you. And you can also desire more, even if the people around you aren't. And that's why environment is so important. I cannot tell you the amount of people I've coached that have wanted to start a business and they get so excited that they want to start their business. And then the people that love them most say, don't do it. That's not safe. What if you fail? You don't want to invest in that. Just get a job. And out of love, they're telling them this, but then the people don't start. And they start to settle and give up that dream. Or it's not realistic. Or there's things we've seen that have never been done before. We talked about this in the limits episode. And people say, no way, that's not possible. And so a lot of times, people don't even try. They just say, oh, you're right, I can't do it. So notice the people around you. Are they pushing you towards what they want? Are they going after what they want? Or is everyone just kind of hanging out and everything seems great, but they're not really stretching the limits, stretching the boundaries? Or maybe you said you wanted something and even your partner was like, but do we really need that? Or you told your partner what you wanted your relationship to be like, and they're like, oh, I just don't have time for that. Or like, isn't it fine just as it is? Or you said something that you wanted to create in your life, and they're like, but that's not possible, is it? Or, but why don't you just stick to what you're doing currently? It's working so well for us, making great money. It's fine. And so then we don't want to ruffle any feathers. We don't want to cause any issues or be too much. So we just say, yeah, you're right. It is fine. And never go after what we truly want. And the people around us, they don't even realize, but they've just become so comfortable with the version of us that we are. And they're just responding based on where they are and how they're relating to us in this moment. And we really take this to heart. And then we stop wanting what it is that we want or desiring a different life. And just say, yeah, you're right. It is really great. But the thing is, people just get used to how things are, how we are. And then a lot of times we want it to stay the same because it's our comfort zones. It's where we're comfortable. If someone else starts changing in your environment, it might start triggering some things in you if they're really dreaming big and going after it. And some people don't want that. So it's just good to be aware of this. So I want you to take a look just in your own surroundings, in your environment, in your social circles. Do you have people that are really going after what they want, that are really striving for the next thing, allowing themselves to dream big? Or do you have people who are just like, I'm good? And again, there's nothing wrong with feeling like I'm good as long as that's what you want and that's what you're happy with. But if you want more, then I want you to have it. So notice, where are people in your environment? Do they support you in the growth? Are they constantly growing where you want to grow and they're dreaming big so they make you dream big? Or are they just kind of like, no, and they're maybe holding you back a bit? Just take stock so you're aware. Because we are the 5 people we surround ourselves with. They can have a huge impact on us. So just choose wisely and notice, do I need to get myself around some other people that are really dreaming big and push me further and really get me excited about life and to create the life that I really want? Just notice that for yourself. And notice too, the people that you're around most, when you're around them, what do you notice in your body? Do you feel clenching when you're around them? Does it feel like maybe you got to shrink? Does it feel like you're like lit up and your heart expands? Just notice if it feels elated, expanded, or contracted when you're around these people. And that will give you a good tell too. And think, do I have to shrink to stay connected? Am I shrinking in my environment unconsciously I don't even realize so that I could fit in? Is that maybe why I'm not allowing myself to want what I want? Or do I not feel like that? Just take stock of where you're at and what your environment is currently bringing up for you. Another thing that can keep us settling or that can keep us not really striving for what we want is the fear of failure. We can get so scared that if we actually declare what we want and we actually start taking action towards it, well, what if it doesn't work out? What if we fail? Oh my gosh. And that could be so embarrassing or shameful and we don't want to deal with that. So it's easier to not want. Just keep things as they are because we already know. We know, well, this is fine. So why risk it? Especially if the people around us are maybe not going to be the kindest to us if we fail, or we make up stories that we don't think that they're going to be. Well, we don't want to risk that. And this fear of failure can run so deep and can really keep us from even allowing ourselves to dream about what we want. And then on top of that is the fear of success. A lot of times we don't even realize that we're scared if we have success in whatever it is we want or we get what we're desiring, because what then? Talked about this a bit in one of the previous episodes, but well, what if your lifestyle changes and your family starts treating you differently, or the people around you start acting differently towards you and that makes you uncomfortable? What are you going to do? Or if you get what it is you want and you're going after it and you have success, then what happens? Who do you have to become? Or what if you lose it all? And all this baggage comes around actually getting success. What if you have to be seen more or be more visible? What do you do? And that brings up a lot for people. So thinking about those wants, if you got them If your relationship became what you wanted it to be, if you got the friendships that you were really desiring, if your career completely shifted, who would you have to become? And what would you have to let go of? What would have to change? And notice what feels uncomfortable within that. And I really want to highlight here that settling is so sneaky. We don't even realize that we're doing it a lot of the times. I know for me, there's been times where I've completely been settling and I just haven't even realized it because I'm like, well, I got everything I wanted. I wasn't happy and I had to do all this inner work to unravel it. So then I was like, I don't even want anything. I just want to be happy where I'm at. Can I just be? And there's, like I said, so much power in that. And I also felt like if I wanted something else, well, then that was saying I wasn't happy and then I wasn't enjoying myself enough. And then I was striving again and I was worried because I got burnt out that I was going to get burnt out again. And there's this whole cycle of things that was going on in my mind that I didn't even realize that I wasn't striving anymore. I wasn't really trying to get anywhere because I just wanted to figure out so much how to just be where I'm at. And again, we want to be where we're at. We want to be so happy where we're at. And there are periods of time where, yeah, it is great to just focus on that so that you can really achieve that. And it doesn't mean that we can't want more. It doesn't mean that we can't desire more or that we can't want more for our lives, that we don't deserve it. This can be a big one too. We think we might not deserve it because maybe we did some bad things in the past or things we considered bad in the past. Like maybe you had a relationship in the past and you didn't feel like you were on your best behavior and you were the reason the relationship ended. So you're like, oh, I'm not worthy of a good relationship. So you won't even allow yourself to want a better relationship. Or if you're single, to even allow yourself to get into that dreamy relationship. And so you're just kind of dating these duds that you know won't work out. Or friendships. Maybe you have the story around how you are as a friend. So you won't let yourself even desire the type of friendship or even be in the type of friendship that you're craving because you're just beating yourself up over it. Or you want a certain career or you want to grow your business to a certain amount, but you feel bad about making more money because you know so many people don't have that amount of money. Or you're worried that you're not going to actually have the time to spend with your kids if you do the thing that you really want to do and start that business. So then you don't do it. We hold ourselves back for so many ways. And we can justify it. We can say how good it is, how much it makes sense, how logical it is. Sure. And no one's going to prove us wrong. Everyone will support that if that's what we want. A lot of people will. Again, because of the people we surround ourselves with. And people want to support what we desire, especially if it's what they're used to and it's what they're comfortable with. But is that really serving you? Is how things are really serving you? Or is allowing a past version of yourself dictate what you're capable of in the future or the type of life you're able to have? Is that really serving you? Or do you want more? Settling is so sneaky. And it comes in so many different ways. Some good tells to know if you're settling, maybe even just keep these by your side so you know, keep them in your back pocket, is it's fine. Other people have it so much worse. It's not that bad. I should be grateful. But I used to desire this and want this so badly. This is just how it is. We can shame ourselves so much too because we're told all the time that we have to be grateful. And I think we get a little bit confused what gratitude is. We think that if we're grateful, that we can't want any more. That we just need to be grateful, that if we want more, we're not grateful, that we're selfish, that we're too much, that something's off and wrong with it. But it's not. One of my mentors, she says 1 foot in gratitude and 1 foot in desire. Because yes, be grateful for what we have. And we can desire more. It's literally what we're here to do in this life, is to see how big we can make it. It's just experience it all. And if we're intentionally holding ourselves back, well, then we're robbing us of parts of life. So notice where you've maybe used gratitude as this kind of crutch to settle, and you maybe didn't realize it. Because yes, be grateful for everything that you have. That is such an amazing thing to be. And it attracts so much in your life and it can make you feel so good. And there's so much research and so many benefits of gratitude. And let's just make sure that it's not holding you back from the life that you really want to create. So feel the gratitude for each area of your life, for everything that you have. And then allow yourself to feel where you still want more and you know that more is possible. Because if that desire is in you, if it's in your heart, then it is for you. And you deserve all of it. All of it. You don't need to become someone else to have it. You don't need to change things about you. You don't need to just flip your whole life around. You as you are get to have it all. And sure, you become someone amazing along the way as you keep growing and having challenges and stretching towards these goals and wants and desires. But you get them now if you want. You don't have to keep holding yourself back for whatever stories that you're telling yourself. And this can look like staying in a relationship that's fine, but it's not deeply nourishing. Or staying in a business that's making you money, but it's not lighting you up. Or staying busy so you don't have to hear what your heart actually wants to do. Or saying, I don't care, when you really do. And how often do we do that? I know I'm guilty of all of these at different times. And this is so conditioned in our society by how we're just told to be happy with what we have. We compare ourselves to other people and we're like, well, compared to them, this is pretty good. Or compared to past versions of our lives. And we just start to settle for less than what we're ultimately here for, or what we know deep down in our hearts that we can have. When we come to this earth, we are literally, our souls are meant to have it all, to just experience all of life, to get it, to be as good as it gets and learn all the lessons along the way. So any way that we are limiting ourselves from that, that's not pure. That's not our true selves. And that's just conditioning or limiting beliefs that we have. So know that you are meant for it all. That's why you're here, to experience just all the fringes of life, all the edges, and to stretch and see. So why don't we? Why do we settle? We've talked about it in terms of our friends and our family and those people that surround us. We talk about it in terms of how it's sneaky and we don't even realize that we're settling, how gratitude can kind of be disguised, right? Now we have to be practical and mature. And we've talked about in regard to our culture and our fears. And there's this other piece that I want to bring in here, which we've touched on in the last few episodes, and to also go back to the baseline episode in episode 3 to hear more of this. But your nervous system, based on what you're actually comfortable with. A lot of times we can want more and we can desire big things, but it's outside our comfort zone. So it feels unfamiliar towards our nervous system. So it feels unsafe. So even though we want it, we might hold ourselves back from going after it. And this is also why the people that you surround yourself with can be so important. Because if everyone is just kind of okay with where things are at, no one's striving for new things, well, then that's really familiar to you. So you're just probably going to stay where things are at. And you might not even remember that you wanted big things. You might kind of push those dreams to the side. Versus if you're around people who are consistently moving all the time and creating and doing more and just improving their lives in all these ways, well, then you are going to start to do that. That's going to feel more familiar to your nervous system. It's going to feel more doable. It's going to feel more accessible and more safe. So you're going to move that way. In terms of this baseline concept too, it's your comfort zone. So it could be whatever's comfortable. So maybe just the way things are in your life are so comfortable, so it seems fine. So it feels good. It's safe. So you don't even realize that you're settling or that you really want things to be different or that they really could be because you're just so comfortable with where things are. So when we actually allow ourselves to dream bigger, or to think differently, or to then go after that, it can feel like this threat to the nervous system because we're shifting up the baseline. And so that can create a lot of stuff that comes up for us, which is maybe why we just keep things as they are, because it feels easier. And our nervous system is like, yeah, we like this. We know how this works, how it goes, and it can feel really good. So wherever we're at can just feel really good. And we just want to stay with that. Or we could want a really great relationship with our partner if we don't feel like we have one. But that could feel like a lot of work. And as we get a better relationship, it could feel really uncomfortable because it's like, wait, we've never been like this before. Is something going to go wrong? And so it will just keep us where we're at. Or we could want these relationships with friends and we could want to really have deep, vulnerable soul sister connections. But to actually share those vulnerable things and to trust them and feel like people will always be there for you could feel so unsafe. So it can hold us back from actually getting that. Or we could want the big career and the big business, but actually getting seen and going out there and doing the things that that takes could feel really unfamiliar. And so we'll just kind of stay in this comfort zone and we'll not even realize. But it will kind of, we can call it self-sabotage, but it's really just keeping us safe. And we'll just kind of stay where we're at and be like, yeah, sure, I want this to be different. I would like this to look this way. Or yeah, it might be nice, but that feels like a lot right now. Or, but I don't know if I can actually do that. Or whatever stories we tell ourselves to just stay where we're at and just keep going with the day-to-day. And as I'm going through this and all of it, there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing bad about staying where you're at. There's nothing bad about settling. It's really serving a strong purpose. And if you want to stay there, by all means do it. it's really protecting us. We learned somewhere along the way that it was safer to want less, to avoid the disappointment, to stay away from the risk, to avoid the chance of rejection, to stay away from change, to be seen. All of these things feel dangerous. And so we learned that it was safer to just not deal with any of them. So we don't. And that is so real. Like, that is such a real thing. And so our nervous systems are really just trying to protect us. And it makes so much sense that we do this. So naturally, of course, we want to stay safe. If we feel like it's unsafe to be seen, or it's unsafe to take those risks, or something could go wrong, well, naturally, that's going to feel really unsafe. And so we're not going to want that. But we know it's safe where we're at. It's such a wise protective mechanism. And I want you to really see that, like, as you're listening to this, like, this is so, so, so wise. And so if you're like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been doing more? Or I could be dreaming bigger. Or, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been settling in my relationship for so long. Know that there's such a very wise reason that you have been doing it. And so no reason to beat yourself up, no shame, right? As with everything, like, this is so well purposed for you. And now you have the awareness to really see, and to also just recognize, oh wow, look at how much this has been protecting me, and really have like compassion for this part and how much it has been serving you. And really just from this place, see, well, do I still want to really cater to this part of me? So do I still really want to lean into this protection? Or do I just want to thank it? Say like, thanks so much for protecting me. And now I want to go big. I want to dream big and go after what I want and what I desire. And whatever comes through for you, I encourage you to do. There is so much power when it comes to dreaming big and going after what we want, and just creating these lives for ourselves, and not settling and saying like, this area, okay, where do I want to tweak it? And this area, where do I want to tweak it? Because we can truly have it all. I know we're told that we can't have it all, or that it's not really possible, or this has to tweak, or if one area is good, another has to be bad. No, we can truly have it all. We get out of our own way and allow ourselves to actually dream big, to go after what it is that we want, and to make it happen. And when we do, it's not shameful, it's not foolish, it's not too much, it's not bad. Oh my gosh, it's one of the best things that we could do, especially when we know why we're doing it and it's for the right reasons. Because not only do we get to become these epic people in the process, because through going after what we want, through seeing where we can tweak the edges in different areas and where we can just make things better and better and better, we get to grow into these amazing versions of ourselves. We get to start through all the challenges, through the tweaks, through the things that we go through on path. We get to become such an epic version of ourselves. And as we do this, we also get to inspire others to really see what's possible for them, to see that they can go after what they want and they can create it. And that is so special, right? We get to change the world with that. And when we fill our cups up, you know, this is my philosophy. I've shared this in previous episodes. When we fill our cups up, we get to fill the world. We get to ripple out into the world from that place. And it is so powerful. And when we get to make a bigger impact, right? When women are just consistently going after what they want, making a bigger impact, filling their own cups, the ripple in the world is so powerful through that. And so we not only get to go after what we want for ourselves, but for others too. And we are here to experience all of life, all of the edges, peel back the onion, just see all of it and experience it all. And if we just stay where we're at, well, we're kind of robbing ourselves of that, aren't we? But if we allow ourselves to just see where we can go, whether we get there or not, to just shoot for the stars and land on the moon, to just get ourselves outside our comfort zone, to just see, yes, this is good and I'm so grateful, but can I make it better? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, I get to make it better for me and for those involved and for those that get to see me in this, because the happier that I am, the more my light gets to shine, the more I own who I am, the more I own what I want. And this version of me gets to ripple out into the world, which gets to just make an even greater impact on those around me. And then I get to shift things in my community and inspire others too. And we're here for that. We're here for it all. So where are you holding yourself back from having it all? Because you feel like you have to, or you should just be fine with where things are at, or you don't want to be too much, or any of the other reasons that we covered in this episode. Where are you not allowing yourself to dream big? And what is that actually costing you? Think about it. And why not you? Sure, someone else might have more experience, someone else might have more credentials, someone else might fit the mold more, but why not you? We all are here for a distinct purpose in this world. We all are here to make the most out of this life, so why not you? Sure, you can make a whole list, but why don't we just stop that right now, clear that neural pathway, and start thinking about why you? Why all of these reasons that it should be you, that you get to have what you want, that you get to create it. Like really think about why you. Because what are you going to do with that when you have that? What does that get to like light up, not only in your own life, but in others? Because why shouldn't your life get to be as big and as good as you are capable of building? And why shouldn't you find out what that capability is? Why just tell yourself that it's max or tell yourself what you think it is? Why not go fuck around and find out? Think about the life that you could create. For me, I try to look at each area of my life and really see where it's at. Okay, this is so good right here, but how can we make this better? What could we refine? What could we tweak? And then look at another area. Ooh, where do I have to grow here? How could we shift this? And be so grateful for it all and so grateful for what I've created and what I have. And consistently see, okay, and how could I grow more? How could I really just experience all of life? How can I see? And it's this constant dance. And believe me, I know how hard it could be to get pulled into that cult of settling that, but I should just be happy here. But it's fine, but it's so much more than this person. It's really what I used to dream about. And yes, all of that and feel all of that. And it is our duty to just create these epic lives and our duty to really figure out what do we want and to see how can we create the best lives for ourselves? Because why not? We're only here for a short time, not a long time. So why do we want to just settle? Or why do we want things to just be fine or just good or just whatever? Why do we not want to make everything as great as it can be so we could fully experience our time here? Message me if you have one good reason, because I cannot think of one. And I don't think it would serve you to either. So allow yourself to dream big, to go after it all, to think about what you want, to notice where you've been settling and to start making it happen. I want you to close your eyes and to just take a moment. If you're driving, you can do this later, but to just pause, close your eyes if you're able to. Just take a breath in and visualize your highest, most radiant self, your full potential, and just imagine for a moment what is possible for your life. Let yourself go there. What do you want? What would be your dream for your relationship, for your family, for your career, for your business, for your social life, for your health, for the way you relate to yourself and show up for any area of your life? What would be the dream? Connect to your heart and just see, like, what do I want here? The highest version of you. What does she want? Notice if any limiting thoughts come up or any of those settling thoughts, those sneaky ones we talked about, and see if you can dream bigger. Lean into it. Now think about in each area, what do I currently have here? Like we did in the beginning of the episode. What currently is my life like? And what do I actually want here? If I'm really letting myself get real with myself, get into my heart, what do I actually want? Where have I been settling? And just notice in each area where you've been settling. Why have I been settling? What's your reason for settling? Get real with yourself here, because this will really open up a lot for you. What if I let myself want even 10% more? Even bigger than the want that you wrote down. What if you let yourself want even 10% more? Or even 10% more than what you're currently doing? If the want that you wrote down maybe feels like too much, like what's even 10% more that you could want that still feels reasonable for you to allow yourself to have? If I wasn't worried about being judged, what would I admit? And if I knew I was already worthy and deserving, what would I want? So go through this in each area of your life and see what this illuminates for you, what this brings forth. You might be surprised. And allow your brain to start to get on board. Allow it to see what's possible, what you're desiring. And if that big want that you said feels like too much and you're already noticing all those thoughts come in, just do a micro step. What's the baby step that's next that you can feel comfortable allowing yourself to have, to go after? That feels still safe for you. Whatever that is, I encourage you to start to create that and see what little shifts you need to make in your life to get there. Because it's important that we have your mind on board so that you actually take these actions to do that. I want to remind you too that not every want has to be this huge extravagant want. It could be the little things, like wanting to be happy each day and be able to be present in each moment. That's a want. If you're not feeling that way right now and you're settling because you think that the norm is to be anxious or stressed or feel all this pressure because other people around you are feeling that way, well, no, that is not the norm. Or maybe it is the norm, but you do not have to be the norm. You don't have to settle for feeling like that. Maybe you're constantly in your head and you're overanalyzing all the time and you're always just doing a million different things at once, but it's overwhelming you. And you're just like, well, this is the life that I have, so I just have to do this until my kids graduate college or until XYZ. No, you don't have to. Like I said, this settling is sneaky. What are people around you allowing themselves to feel? Maybe, as you know, society, people just aren't happy. So you don't think that you can be, or people don't prioritize their happiness. For me, I was like, no, I was like, I don't care who else is prioritizing this or who else wants this. I want to be happy and I'm going to figure that out. So think about for you what that is. Maybe it is that you want to be able to be more present and happy in your days. You don't want to settle for just feeling like life has to pass you by or you're constantly in motion. So maybe you want to feel fulfilled with your family or with intimacy in your relationship on the day-to-day. Doesn't have to be something huge. Those are huge, by the way. But just whatever it's going to be for you. Again, like we talked about in the last episode, put your blinders on and really think for you, what is that want? And where are you currently settling? And where have you not been giving yourself time to focus on your own wants because you've been so focused on other people's that you've kind of let yours go to the wayside? Maybe even haven't thought of them, or you knew what they are, but you haven't gone after them. Or you've told yourself whatever story that it is. So take this time now for you. Your wants are not selfish. Your aliveness is not selfish. Your fullness is not too much. All of these things allow you to fill up your cup so that you can actually give more, not less. That it's actually selfless for you to go after what you desire and to allow yourself to dream big and to desire more for your life. And if you trigger anyone, well, good. That's a lesson for them too. Maybe they're not owning what they want. So as you go through this, really just see, like start to notice, oh, whoa, okay, I thought I was good in this area, but I can actually see the stories I've been telling myself around it and where I have been holding myself back. And what do I actually want here? And ooh, can I really go after that? Okay, well, what's the next step I could actually do? And where am I going to let myself dream big? And where am I going to let myself go after it? And notice what comes up for you in there. Because there's so much power, like I've been saying, to go after what it is that we want. And as women, to actually let ourselves be big, create the lives I want, desire, and just truly live all of it and experience it all. And that is what I want for you. I know it can be so easy to hold ourselves back. So easy. And so many of us do it. We don't even realize a lot of times, like I've shared in this episode, settling can be so sneaky based on those around us, based on our culture and this cultural conditioning that we have in society, based on our fears and our beliefs, based on the stories that we tell ourselves, based on so many things. All these things that I've shared throughout this episode. And it serves us so well. Our nervous system keeps us so safe and protects us in our comfort zones here. And there is so much power to going after what we want, to allowing ourselves to dream, to allowing ourselves to experience all of this life, to take the risks, to make the moves, to grow into these epic versions of us that we get to become along the way. And as we do it, to just claim our desires, to claim who we are, to take those leaps and those steps and to just blow this life out of the water. So I really hope that you'll take the time to go through each of the areas of your life and really notice where you're currently at, where you're settling, what you're desiring more of, the stories that you have around it, and allow yourself to really feel into those wants for you. I would love to hear how this lands for you, maybe what ahas you had in this episode about where you've been settling, about where you've been holding yourself back and how this is shifting it. And even maybe re-listen to this episode again to see what it can awaken you. And know that you are meant to have it all. You deserve it all. You have so much permission to dream big, to go after it. That's what you're here for. It's not too much. It's not selfish. It's not ungrateful. It's not hurting anyone. It's not all the things that we might think that it could be. It is your gift that you have. It is your heart's desire for you to dream big, to create epic things, to really allow yourself to experience the fullness of life, to get lit up by it, to have it all, to become fully nourished. And it's in your power, your choice to decide to make that happen. Through this whole series, we unraveled so much under the baggage around want and really cleared a lot of that ick around it. And through that, I hope that it's really given you the just agency to be able to say what you want, to think about the big things that you want, to declare what it is that you want, and think about your bigger pictures, your desires, and where you're maybe holding yourself back from them. And regardless of what the people around you are doing or what you think you should do or what's been conditioned in you, that you can find your true wants, your heart-led wants, and go after them and make them happen. So with that, here's a few more questions for you to walk yourself through. Where have I been calling something fine when if I really got in touch with myself, it's not? What have I want that I've talked myself out of because it's felt too big? What feels safe about not going after what I want? And what feels scary to receive if I do? Who would I become if I let myself want this fully? What would I need to believe about myself to take one step towards it? Think about each step we take as a staircase towards the ultimate want that we have. Where can I give myself permission today to want without needing to know the how yet? Can you allow yourself to want even if you don't know how you're going to get there? Even if it seems unreasonable and crazy and just so out there, can you just let yourself want? See what comes up for you in these questions. Really take the time to sit with them all. And let's get nourished. If this episode resonated with you, I would absolutely love if you could like, share, and subscribe to this podcast and leave a 5-star review as well. It is my mission to support as many women as possible in truly coming back to themselves, rooting into who they truly are, and ultimately become nourished in all areas of their lives. I would absolutely love for you to join me on that mission and help spread this podcast to anyone who you feel that it would be supportive for. Also, it would mean the world to me if you could reach out to me on Instagram. My handle is in the show notes, and let me know how this resonated with you, what you are loving in the podcast, and what you would like to see more of as well, so we can deepen the relationship over there. If you'd like to take these principles deeper and really embody them on a next level in your own life, I invite you to join my email list. The link is in the show notes. I will be emailing you each week. I host live webinars digging even deeper into these concepts and how you can practically apply them into your own life so that you can fully become lit up by life, nourished in all areas, and really embody all of the principles that I share here on this podcast. So again, the link is in the show notes to join. I would absolutely love to have you on there. I provide a ton of value on my list, different practices you can do each week, the webinars that you can tune into, and a lot of other fun goodies as well. And you'll be the first to know about podcast episodes too. So again, hop on over to my email list so that I can fully support you even further, and let's get nourished.